varnished to death. Okay, I've stripped all the fittings off here, and you can see from this bit here, this must have been a really lovely bit of wood at one point. And even from that bit you can see that. Nice laminated tiller. Classic example of how what should be the simplest job turns into a bloody nightmare. It's rotten. I haven't chiselled it out yet to get to the full extent of the rot, but it's a lot. The new tiller is on the cards, I think. I might be able to patch this for a little while so that the boat's not out of commission, but then I've got a plan for making a new one. God damn it. So that'll be an interesting one. This is the nasty bit, and if you look at it in the sunlight, when you open this, a big plume of nasty stuff comes out. It seems very hard to use this stuff without that happening. So PPE, personal protective equipment, is essential. There's no way around it. If you don't want to end up soaking in hot baths every night for a month to try and get the pain and the itching to go away, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. So I've put a lot in there, quite deliberately, because I've got a big hole to fill, and because I want the filler to be quite stiff. Yeah, that's looking just about right. Stay out there, stay out there. I mean it. Don't come in here. Thank you. Always hard. Manage these things with kids on the loose. But she knows. She knows when I say stay out of the garage. Quite stiff. That will generate some heat quite quickly and shouldn't take too long to go off. It shouldn't all run out everywhere. So just pour that in. Good. Back slowly out the door. There it is, fillered and fiberglass wrapped, and that is a spiral wrap of fiberglass tape that way, and then continuous spiraling back the other way. So it's just 2 layers really, more than enough really for that. Seems to have gone very well. We'll see. We'll see. So I've just put the final coat of varnish on the tiller, having reworked it a little bit. I fillered all the rot, that big hole that was in the middle third of the tiller. I fillered that out with epoxy and faired it off, and then spiral wrapped it with fiberglass tape and epoxy. I had to paint that because it just looks garbage otherwise, and that's what we're left with now. you know, it's a good finish. It's going to be okay. I could sand it down and get a better finish, but I think having worked with it now, I've pretty much decided that I'm going to replace that tiller. I'm just thinking now whether to steam bend a new one or laminate a new one. There's not that much of a curve on that, to be honest. This one, I mean, I've figured out at least why it's failed, in part due to having a long chat with my brother about it. I mean, when you laminate a tiller, the reason you do it is so that you can get the downward curve on it without steaming it. So why then would you laminate a tiller with the laminates running vertically instead of horizontally? There they are, vertical laminates. And then, of course, drill lots of holes in it to fit, you know, self-steering and you know, other little bits and pieces. And I found old fixings in there from previous self-steering. I'd wager that that's not the original tiller. It'll be a homemade reworking of that, and it's been laminated with all the glue seams pointing skyward, which, as we all know, is where the rain comes from. So, you know, once you leave it to go into a little bit of disrepair, it's inevitable that the naughty stuff is going to get in there, and that's what's happened. So, if I decide to laminate one, obviously I'll do it with the laminates horizontally, so that they can do what they're supposed to do, and so that you've got one sort of sheet of wood on the top, really. Yeah. But for now that'll do, and when I've made the new one, that'll make a nice backup tiller that I can stow somewhere on the boat. Plenty of places on the Twister 28 to put something like that. So should the new one ever fail, or some disaster before it, at least I've got a spare then. Yeah, there it is.